Hey, guys. I'm super duper excited to be doing this pre-launch video, and it's to talk about marriage and how beautiful it is. And remember, on the 10th of June, on my birthday, I'm going to be launching my book, which is Covenant Mary Sanctity Proseuche. Actually, it's our book because it's a book for humanity, a book that I strongly believe the Spirit of God has placed upon my spirit and helped me to write this book from two perspectives and merging them because that is the author that I am. I'm an author, but I'm a prophetic teaching priest as well as a systemic family therapist. So whatever it is that I write in the book, Covenant Marriage Sanctity Proseuche, is all an embodiment of my experience clinically, my experience with just the world at large, and through many different experiences that I've encountered from my research and also from just observing the world. And it actually has been a burden that's been upon my heart. So on the 10th of June, I'm going to be launching that book. The venue is secret, and you may want to pre-order your copy whilst they still the $21 promotion, or you want to maybe order after the 1st of June, which then is going to be from the 1st of June, it's going to be $27, which is the actual price. So for those that want to take advantage and get a number of copies for your family, loved ones, or get a copy for yourself, this is a book for people who are happily married, people who are yet to be married, people who are in the dating phase. This is a book for people who are at the verge of divorce and going through marital crisis and think they're done, and you just want out. And it's also for people who are happily married, going through life, and your parents and your kids one day will be married. And this is also a book for people who have had to fight it through. And, marriage has not been that beautiful, blissful for you. It's exhausting, it's a chore, and it's something that you feel like, I just gotta do it for my kids, or I just gotta do it because I've got no option, or I don't know where you are, but this is literally a book for everybody. And I am so excited, and I'm deeply honored, and at the same time feel so humbled that God saw it fit for me to be the vessel that is used to write this book, to then release it, and through his guidance. And guys, it's taken a lot of praying, a lot of interceding, and a lot of tears because that burden, I feel so compassion when I find people have gone through a divorce or are going through a divorce. I look at the children, and I also work with children and also see how they suffer. And empathy is where you place yourself in the position of the person who's going through that. So I empathize with people when they come and say, I have been hurt, I've been betrayed by my spouse. My spouse is a child out of wedlock. My spouse is another woman. I am tired, I am exhausted, I want out. Or my spouse doesn't respect me, and doesn't deal well with my family or the in-laws, and the finances, and all those complaints that people bring to the therapy room. I am familiar with a whole lot of it. My heart, I empathize with them. And at the same time, I also look at the fact that a lot of the problems that people have in marriage are based on blueprint. What is the blueprint that you're using for marriage? What blueprint do you have? What blueprint does your spouse have from their previous, it could be from their childhood or from their previous life, in the form of, you could be remarried. I don't know what your story is, but you know what? I've listened to almost every storyline. So, in as much as every case is unique, and that's the most interesting part about therapy, is that every case is unique. It's also the very interesting part about spirituality. It's, I think, the reason why God is so compassionate towards each and every one of us, because He knows the backstory that nobody else knows. He has got that backstory of what you have gone through as a child, the blueprint, the pain, the trauma, the childhood trauma that you have. And I love that society gives people premarital counseling through religious bodies. But what I think is lacking in that is the collaboration and bringing together of those religious um, personnel together with professionals who are in the mental health fraternity, because sometimes whatever challenges then bombard a marriage, I would sadly say some marriages are almost predestined for failure based on the blueprint that they're coming with. When you look at Godman, he talks about the four horsemen, and one of the major predictors of divorce is contempt. But there are people who are set for contempt, or either contemptuous spirit or a contemptuous attitude towards life, and already that sort of like dooms them. And the Bible says we are not ignorant to the devil's devices, where he talks about even things like lust and all those things. So this book is going to help you to identify certain key hidden devices, certain key things that people need to know. But I would also encourage you to try and attend the launch. And I'm super duper excited that this is not going to end there. We are going to actually have a symposium, which is going to be annual. And we are going to make it a prayer and intercession, symposium. And it's gonna be super duper duper exciting. So look, if you're going through marriage, about to get married, praying to get married, you don't even have anyone that you're dating, but you're praying for a marriage, this is a book you may want to pre-order. This is an event you may want to attend. Share with somebody who needs this. Even if you've been, divorced and plan to remarry, there's a lot of conflict around divorce and remarriage, and a lot. And it's a very complex thing, and I believe it's very individualistic thing, but is also addressed in biblical way. I would encourage a lot of people to work through their marriages even before you even get married. I would encourage you to fight for a marriage even before you get married, because the Bible says, "For we fight not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against rulers of darkness, and against spiritual wickedness in heavenly places." This is a book that will take you through those prayers, some of the key prayers that you may want to engage in. And it also tells you about therapeutic aspects or things to consider, like I highlighted or alluded to, the aspect of having your own healing journey from your childhood. Heal from your parents' marriage. Heal from your parents' marriage. Heal from your parents' marriage. Sometimes it's one of the most important things. And if you are that parent who perhaps was divorced and would want your children to maybe have a better chance at their marriage than what you got because of whatever then happened. And look, I'm not here to blame. The book is not here to blame. Far from it. The book is a very compassionate book which looks at self-compassion as well as has a non-pathologizing approach whereby we look at the problem as a problem and not the person as a problem, which is something that can also bring a lot of question marks. But like I say, this is a book you want to read. This is a book you want to pre-order or order. Once again, if you pre-order your book today, it's gonna be 21 US dollars. If you ordered from the 1st of June, it's gonna be 27 US dollars. So order today if you wanna make use and take advantage of the promotion. And if you want to attend, remember to go to search for my website, which is www.sotovoceruach.com. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at the book launch. I'm also looking forward to having you read your copy and send your reviews and send your thoughts on how the book has worked for you or is working for you. I'm going to be praying for each and every copy, and I'm going to sign as many copies as you may want me to sign. If you want a signed copy, I'll definitely sign the copy for you. And if you are going to be able to attend, it's going to be awesome. But if you're not also able to afford to attend for whatever reasons, or if you're not able to attend, then it's also okay. You can still order or pre-order your copy.